This is so weird. Bro, is it a sunny day or not? What is this? Quick rant of this morning, and sorry that I'm just like waking up and just felt like making this. Is should you invest in cryptocurrency? So anyways, if you have enjoyed all of the small talks that I have and just rants that I go on for a couple minutes every now and then, please like, comment, and subscribe. That's what keeps me going. So, should you invest in cryptocurrencies? The short answer is no, don't do it. That's a lie. Just kidding. Some of the reasons that people say why you should not invest in cryptocurrency is that, you know, it's highly volatile. It's not controlled by any country, which I think that's a strength, but people see it as a risk. It's very risky in terms of future value, you know, not being controlled by anything or being attached only to use or people's belief in the currency. What else? That's pretty much it. Like, people are just afraid that you're gonna lose all your money, or that the value that it has depends purely on people and speculation and not really on a physical or deliverable product that you can say, well, hey, you know, let's say like Tesla, like, hey, the company might be overvalued, but at least they're selling this car, or at least they're making this battery or something like that. Well, with cryptocurrencies, you don't usually have that, except for a few, you know, which their products are more like services, but that's a different story, maybe for another conversation. Now, my take on it, and this is not financial advice, I just encourage research. This is just what I believe will happen, is that, man, this is the future. Like, think about the world is getting globalized little by little, and having something that allows you to participate in that globalization, minimizing the amount of third parties that need to get their little grubby hands on your money or exchanges, that's a big deal. And that's one thing that I see as a benefit that, as I was saying before, like, people say, oh, well, you know, no country controls it, or it's decentralized, this and that. That's an advantage, because when you're trying to do trade or purchase something in a different country, the amount of taxes that you have to pay for that can get a little bit disheartening at times. Now, imagine if it was just a service. A lot of people now are able to buy services overseas with their credit cards and then skip all the taxation extras, or, well, don't have to deal with like import export, but you still have to deal with like the local taxes, right? Now, something like cryptocurrency, depending on which one you're using, could help you avoid all of that. I'm just guesstimating here, not saying that, you know, go ahead and try to do illegal things. Just saying it could become a way to minimize the fees that you have to pay out to different stakeholders, I guess, in order to use your own money. And so I guess I should take the word tax out of there, because that makes it sound like legal and government, and they don't like that conversation. But for the most part, just thinking of it as stakeholders who all get hands into their money whenever you try to do a transaction or something like that. Another advantage that I see in using cryptocurrency is that many of them are not subject to inflation, or as much inflation, or they're programmed in a way to specifically avoid inflation. And that's something that your paper money just doesn't have. For example, last year, 2020, the US government just printed out $2 trillion. Like 22% of the dollars that are in circulation right now were created in 2020. However, the market capitalization for the dollar hasn't changed that much in regards to the money that's, everywhere else in the world. So when you think about it that way, that devalues the dollar. Now, obviously they're doing it because, the country needs it, or people need money to spend, or the economy, whatever, we have to save the market. Yeah, okay, that comes at a cost. So when I look at it that way, the world of cryptocurrency, some of them minimizes that. For example, Bitcoin, no one individual can decide to just have more Bitcoin, to just print more Bitcoin or something like that. Like the value or the total amount that we're gonna have in one day is set, and that's it. So the value that we get of it is what people decide it's worth, based on scarcity, based on use cases, etc. Okay, but no one can just inflate the price by just increasing the supply that's out there. And because it's a fixed amount that will ever be, then the more it gets mined, the harder it gets to mine it. So that's another way to kind of hedge the value a bit, is that because there's going to be less of it, it's going to get harder to mine. And just like with actual gold and so on, with Bitcoin mining, if you're mining a resource that's scarce, it takes time, work, energy, costs to mine it. The miners are going to imbue the product with some of that cost that they paid to get it. So I don't know. For me, that just means that, hey, the value is there and it's going to be there and it's going to continue increasing. I don't know when. We can only guesstimate, but it's going to be part of the future. So you can either, choose to be in it, or just watch from the outside and see what happens. At this point, I feel like there's more risk in not being in the market of cryptocurrencies than just putting in a little bit in it. Now, I'm not saying like go and blow all the money that you actually need or that you don't have, or ask for money, a loan to then put it all in crypto. Like that would not be very smart. However, if you know that you can afford to, let's say, the same way you go to the movies, $25 every 2 weeks or something like that. Like, all right, just throw $5 here, $10 there, $20 here into a cryptocurrency. It could amaze you, the results that you could get in the next few years. Just thinking about it this way, I think that if you had spent $1,000 on Bitcoin maybe 5 years ago, or a little bit more ago, by now you would have more than, I think, between $17,000 or $25,000, depending on like when you made the purchase. So someone might have to go and like find the actual math and correct me if I'm wrong, put the right number in the comment section. But yeah, like $1,000 to $25,000 in 5 years. Where else are you gonna get results like that? Now, same thing would be cool, like $100 to $2,500. That's $2,000 you didn't have before. So I don't know. I feel like that's, especially if you can afford it, that's a risk that would be worth it. Just please don't invest all your money, and if you have a zero in it or you don't believe in it, that's okay, but putting in a little bit and getting something out of it in the future could serve you well. Anyways, with that, I say peace. I'm out.